Okie doke, so we are heading on to round number 20, and the colour that I'm using is carnelian. At least I think it's the colour because I took the bands off. I'll have to check. But yes, I think it's carnelian. So what we're going to do is just get some thread, and this is a pretty easy part. So we excuse our noise, but I live in a very, very, very noisy neighborhood, and any of you who've done my patterns before, you'll have all the background noises that you need. Dogs barking, motorbikes, cars revving, ambulances, fire trucks, police sirens, it's all here. Just tune in and you'll have all the sounds of busy suburbia. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to be working into the back, well, kind of into the top, so behind our previous round, and we're going to be working into round number 18. And what we're going to do is we're going to skip that first stitch, and we're going to work a half double crochet. So what you're going to do is just chain two. Oh yes, I forgot to mention also cats meowing, dogs barking. Sometimes we have guinea fowl walking down the streets with all their babies, and they make a specific noise. And the other noise that we have a lot of are hardy-dars. I don't know what they're called in Europe, but they ibis, kind of big ibis, big grey ibis birds. Okay, so enough with the idle chit chat. So we're going to do 2 chains equal to 1 half double crochet. We're just going to work a half double crochet into the top of all of these stitches. So we're working into round number 18, and you should have 10 when we're done. Okay, so you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then we're going to chain 1. Alright, and we're going to work 10 down the other side. Just going to start there. Going to work 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, oopsie, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Then you're going to chain 2, and you're going to work a single crochet into that chain 2 that we did in round number 19, like that. Okay, chain 2, skip the first stitch and work 10 half double crochets into the next 10 stitches. Okay, so that's pretty simple. Okay, just make sure your stitch count is completely accurate. Alright, so we should have 10 kind of each section. Alright, so you just carry on like that. So, this is where I worked in the ends. Okay, so I don't need to show you more than that really, because that's pretty simple. So you're going to have 10 up that side, 10 down the other side, a chain 1 behind the corner, chain 2, single crochet into the chain 2 space from the previous round, chain 2 and continue, and then work your way all the way around until you've completed your last chain 2, and then that's where I'll meet you. I'll show you. We're not going to fasten off, we're going to carry on the next round in the same color. So I shall see you at the end of round number 20 and the beginning of round number 21. Okay, so of course I've gone ahead. So let me just do those 2 chains, and then you're going to slip stitch into the top of your beginning chains like that. Yeah, I know that. And work a front post, a half double crochet front post over that chain 2 from your previous round. So basically your round number 21 is going to be a repetition. So you're just going to work a half double crochet front post over all of your half double crochets from the previous round, like that. Okay, so you're just going to carry on like that. I know there are some people that absolutely hate these little half double crochets and the half double crochet front posts, but I find them so useful for framing things. And you're going to just chain 1 as you did before, and then continue. Oh, it's getting quite dark here. It's still early in the morning, but we have rain pending. So only 30% chance, but it's looking pretty cloudy outside. Right, so you're just going to work those half double crochet front posts like so. Right, so it's pretty mindless because, you know, your stitch before kind of informs you what the stitch above is going to be. And now we're going to chain 1. We're going to work a chain 1. We're going to chain 1, work a chain 1, chain 1. Okay, and then we're back to our front posts. Right. Okay, so I'm on to the next chains. So what I wanted to mention was, for some of you who've got very tight tension, you may want to add extra chains here. I'm doing a chain 1, a single crochet, chain 1, single crochet, chain 1. And the reason I do that is because I take into consideration that with use, your piece, you know, fabrics tend to stretch a bit, fibers and so on. They do stretch a bit, and you know, I'm thinking ahead that, you know, you don't want these sort of gaps appearing, you know, where your pieces become very stretchy. I'm not saying it will, but I kind of, you know, keep that in mind. And so I tend to make these sort of bridges. I use less stitches, less chains than what perhaps other designers might use, but it's only because I'm trying to sort of keep the integrity of the shape and taking into account that fibers kind of do stretch over time. So, you know, it's these chainy bits that can become quite stretchy, and then your square starts looking quite holy. I don't have a problem with holy bits and pieces in a design. I sometimes do that deliberately. Anyway, I have, you know, my weird reasons. I have my weird reasons for doing that. But if your tension is like super tight, then instead of doing, you know, a chain 1 like I have, you might want to do a chain 2, like here for example. So, you know, I'm quite happy with doing the chain 1. If you have done my patterns before, you know that I will mention this, and I'll sort of, you know, I'll say use your own judgment, and depending on the yarn that you're using, add an extra chain in these places if you feel that it's pulling your piece out of shape, to have only say 1 chain, for example. You know, I've also mentioned that I use kind of the least amount of stitches and that's just to give it this kind of very tight kind of 3D look, you know. I don't know, it's just the way I do things. Okay, so we're going to check if that's 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I check because okay, and again the chain 1, single crochet into the chain 2 space, chain 1, single crochet into the chain 2 space, chain 1. Okay, so and you know, obviously it's going to fold up a little bit like that because you've got those, you know, you've got those stitches behind there. So I shall see you at the end of round number 21, and we can move on to round number 22. Okay, so I've done my last chain 1, and I'm just going to slip stitch into the top there, and snip off my yarn like so, and that is round number 21 done and dusted. Give it a little stretch. There we go. So and now I just want to measure this. So at this point your square should measure approximately we'll take it from there, 8 inches. Okay, 8 inches square. So we are on track because we're halfway. We're exactly halfway. I think there's 42 rounds. So we're exactly halfway. And it's really the you know, the central bits that are the most finicky, and then, you know, it sort of becomes a little bit easier. Okay, so round number 21 done and dusted. Okay, so round number 2, the colour that I'm using is Lepidolite. Again, it's kind of a grapey, sort of a grape colour going on there, which is, you know, the colour that I used in the other colourway, that sort of grape colour. So these are what I call my independent rounds. So what I mean by that is that they worked on their own, start and finish. See the two strands at the back there? Okay, so the way we're going to do this is, so people who've done my patterns before know that I like to do these independent rounds. So what you're going to do is you're going to work a single crochet front post like that. I'm calling it a front post, really just a single crochet. You're going to be working that over that treble front post that you made in round number 19, okay? And then we're going to be working 2 double crochets together. So you're going to yarn over and you're going to be working between those 2 single crochets from round number Amazonite. So let's see what round that was. The Amazonite round. I've got a little notebook here and I sort of just make notes. Yes, round number 17. Okay, so we're working into round number 17. Okay, so you're just going to work 2 double crochets together. I'm going to close them. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, sometimes with this stone washed you sort of get thicker pieces, thicker strands in between. Okay, so you should have 7 of those. Doing 6. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Just going to pop that in between those 2 single crochets. Okay, and then you're just going to snip off and pull through, and then you need to just pull this through to the back. So like that, and so you're just going to pull that through. Just make sure you're pulling through out at the, and then you can work in those tails later. What you're going to have is that. That. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I think I skipped one here. Did I? Yes, I did. I skipped one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You should have 7, okay? I just have to go back and do my... No, hang on. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, I skipped one. Anyway, I always check. I check and recheck because I do make mistakes. So often while I'm working, I'm thinking of shopping lists and I think, oh, I have to go feed the dogs, and oh, I need to go and give the fish food, and and so on. So I tend to check and double check my stitch count, even if it's a simple round. Because my mind does wander. So that's how it's going to look. Alright, so you're going to do that over all of those, so into all of those 2 single crochets from round number 17, okay? And then I shall see you at the end of round number 22, and we'll carry on to round number 23. Okay, so we are on round number 23, and the colour that I'm using is yellow jasper, number 809. I am so in love with the stone washed yarn. Honestly, I need to try and persuade skippies to make them in 100-gram 100-gram balls. Oh yes, definitely. Alright, so we are going to start with treble, 3 trebles together, and what we're going to do is we're going to work between the 2 double crochets together from our previous independent round. That was round 22, right? So we're going to start in a space right after our first one, and we'll do a chain 4. So that's equal to 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, equal to 1 treble. Then we're going to work another one and another one. Okay, and then we're going to chain 1 like that. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's such a lovely sound. We have little starlings who have made their nest close by, and a lot of people think that they're a pest, but I absolutely love their little sounds, and I don't know, they're just such busy, funny, mischievous little birds. And I love having them around. They often fight with the crows around here. There's often a crow, and because I think the crows try and get into their nests and steal the eggs. And the starlings are very protective of their eggs and their young. Shoo-wee. Okay. So now what we've got is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we should have 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then what we're going to do is we're going to chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we are going to work a double crochet front post around the top of that double treble. Okay, so this is a little bit tricky because actually you don't want to work a back post, you want to work a front post. So to do that, you're going to go in and then you're going to just hook it through to the back, and you're going to work a double crochet front post 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and you're going to chain 6. So that's the reason why you want to work your double crochet front post, because that's the effect that I'm trying to get there. Okay, and then you're going to yarn over twice and you're going to work back into those spaces between your 2 double crochets together. You're going to work your trebles together plus a chain 1. Okay, like that. 1, 2, 2, 3. Okay, close, chain 1. Right, and that's basically what's going to happen. So you're going to have an arch there with your 6 treble, 3 treble front post, 6 separated by chain 1. Then you're going to have your chain 6. You're going to work your double crochet front post, so front post over that double treble from round number, whatever that round was. Round number, excuse me, oh, gosh, it's a very, very funny day today, and I've got sort of hay fever, but I don't know why, because we are going into autumn, or maybe that's why. Okay, so again, I've done 6 chains here, but if you tend to, well, depending on what yarn you're using, and if your tension is very tight, you might want to add an extra chain on each side, but don't go too mad. Okay, you want to keep it quite tight. Is that the word? Yeah, you don't want it kind of spreading all over the place. Okay, so you're just going to carry on 6. So it's very easy round, very easy round. So round number 26. I wish it was round number 26. Round number 23, yellow jasper, and I shall see you at the end of this round and the beginning of round number 24. Okay, we're on round number 24, and the colour we're going to use is tourmaline. So we've used that before, and we are revisiting this really pretty colour. So what we're going to do is we are going to work into that chain 2 space all the way back in round number 19, and we're going to also work through those 2 chain spaces, just under those 2 chain spaces from round 20 and 21. And what we're going to do is start with a single crochet. So it's just a standing single crochet just to get you going, and then we're going to work a puff. So we're going to work a puff as we've done before, yarn over times 4, 2, 3, 4, yarn over, chain 1, and then when you pull that that standing single crochet, that one that you used to start off with, you don't really see it. Now we're going to work into the next 7 stitches. So our first, we're going to be working into the tops of round number 20. So remember, this is round number 21 where we did the half double crochet front posts, and we made them around round 20, which were the half double crochets. So now we're working into the tops, and we're going to work half, just ordinary regular half double crochets, 7 of those into the next 7 stitches. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, and then we're going to yarn over, and we're going to work a double crochet front post around our going to work a double crochet front post. I'm trying to get around that first one. Okay, so you're just going to move that back, and we're going to do a front post. Okay, double crochet front post around that puff from round number 22. Alright, that's the lepidorite. Okay, I'm just going to try and do a better job of it. So what you want to do is just move that out the way so that you can grab your puff, chain 1. Okay, so that's the best way to do it. It's just to pull, is to just fold your 3 trebles together over, and that way you get the front of the stitch. Okay, so it's not a back post, it's a front post. Chain 1, right, chain 1, double crochet front post, chain 1, double crochet front post, chain 1, double crochet front post. Okay, chain 1 and double double crochet, front post, the last one. Okay, I'll just show you what it looks like. And so that's what it's going to look like. So your back's going to look like that, your front's going to look like that. And then you're going to work over, your chain. You're going to count 7 stitches backwards, so that you know where you're working. And you're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, you're going to yarn over. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and you're just going to work your first half double crochet into the top of those stitches from round number 20. Okay, so we've got 4, 5, 6, 7, yarn over, and we are back to our puff. 1, 2, 3, 4, yarn over, chain 1, and we're back down that side. Okay, so that's basically that. Pretty simple, really simple. Start off with a puff, 7 half double crochets, so 1 into the next 7 stitches, and you're working into round number 20. This is round number 21 in the front here, and you're working into the tops of round number 20. Then you're working double crochet front posts, not back posts, okay, because back posts are going to give you a very different look. So front posts around your puffs from round number 22, and then that is going to take you all the way to your 7 half double crochets up this side, and the best way is to just count from the chain 1 space, count 7 down, and then when you get up to the top, back up to the top again, you're going to work that puff through 3 rounds. So basically round number 19, 20 and 21. Okay, and then you just carry on, you just repeat that. So I shall see you at the end of this round, which is round number 24, and then we will carry on with round number 25.